Hello and welcome to Master Gardening. I'm your host, Bud Kwok, and again today we've got a special show for you. We're going to talk about flower design. Not arrangements, flower design. Arrangements, that word went a long time ago, and it's not only just flower design, it's competition. So stick around, we'll be right back. We're here today with a couple of master gardeners. And by the way, I'm a master gardener too, so we got 3 master gardeners on the same show. I think that might be a record. And introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Claudia Kramer. I became a Master Gardener in the spring of '07, and I've been an officer in the Purchase Area Master Gardener Association. And this year I volunteered to be co-chair of the fair committee that handles the horticulture and flower design for 2013. And this is my partner.
Marianne Hallex. I've been a Master Gardener since 2009, which was of course the year of the ice storm. So that's easy to remember.
Okay. And you said this is your last year and you're moving up.
Yes.
And okay. And one of the offices you've held was president of the Master Gardeners. That's really special, yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed it. It was a good year, a good term that I had as president of Master Gardeners, and they're a very active group, but of course most of us are retired, and we're getting a little older, so we are always recruiting
older,
new blood.
don't mention that word.
Always. Always.
We're always recruiting new blood for Master Gardeners.
Yes.
Okay.
Each year, the Extension Office, the horticulture agent, has a class for Master Gardeners, and once you take that class and take the test, then you become a Master Gardener, and then you're eligible to become a member of the PAMCA group, the Purchase Area Master Gardeners Association.
And the horticultural specialist now is Kathy Wimberly. Let's throw her a plug.
That's right. Yes.
And she's the one that teaches part of the class and has other people come in, sometimes from Princeton and other places, to teach some of the classes, right?
Some of the
That's
Master
correct.
Gardeners teaches part of the class
Yes.
also.
Now, how many years has this design competition been going on at Carson Park during the McCracken County Fair, right? It's been
Right.
through the fair?
And I'm not sure how many years it's been going on. I came down here in 2000, and it was going on at that time, and so I think it's been probably 20 years that they've been having flower design competition at the
I know
fair.
10 or
At
12
least.
because me and the crew did a show there about 10 or 12 years ago, and it was like 100 degrees outside, and there was no air conditioning. It was like 115 inside, and believe it or not, we haven't done another show since. But this year, you have
The floral hall is air conditioned.
Air
And
conditioned.
that has made a lot of difference.
Yes, it was huge. I mean, it was
Yes.
like 95 outside when you
That's
took
right.
pictures. So we've got a big show today, a lot of things going on. Let's go right straight to the designs and look at the designs, and I need y'all's comments on each one of them. And if we
Okay.
have some time later, we'll talk about some other things.
This year we had 7 classes, Bud, and this is class that we're looking at right now is the novice design. If you've never entered or never won a blue ribbon in a
That's me.
design, you can enter this novice design. It's 8" by 8" by 8". So it's height and depth and width. The little squares we have them centered on are 8 inches, so we can measure that out pretty easily. This is a beautiful rose with a lot of green foliage in a cut glass vase. And I think it won 3rd place, if I saw that ribbon correctly. This design that we're looking at here had a lot of excellent elements. The size of the flowers were perfect. The little things that she used were perfect. She won a blue ribbon. Here's the 2nd place winner that has a very nice design of a mixture. And then the 4th place winner is 4th place because there's not enough design in that. It was a single flower in a small vase. It was beautiful, but not enough design.
Yeah, there it is.
That is, it's gorgeous, but it was very small.
Now, you blue, red,
Yellow,
yellow,
And
and
white.
And white.
Okay,
And-
ribbons, okay.
yes.
What is this?
I think this is part of that
It looks
larger one that we were
Close
showing
up.
earlier. This takes us into another class, and this class was I have rhythm, I've got rhythm after the song, and you had to incorporate musical instruments in it. And so the object was to get a musical instrument, incorporate it into your creative design in some manner.
Huh.
So it doesn't just, the musical instrument can't just be sitting there on the side or underneath or anything, or you're judged down. They're-
And this is a musical instrument?
I think she had maracas in this, sitting on either side of her little doll that she had on top, and this was laying over to the side. This one can be 18 inches by 18 inches. Okay, no, this was done by Nancy Flowers, and that has a little beaded ball there at the side of it as her musical instrument.
Okay.
That's beautiful foliage that she has there. This one sits on top of a tambourine. It won 4th place. It's a beautiful arrangement. It's simplistic, it's well balanced, the colors are great, but it's simply sitting on top of a tambourine. The vase matches perfectly with the tambourine, but there's not enough incorporation, the judges felt, to give it a higher than a 4th place position.
Well, you've got a good memory.
This one, I have to see the vase to know if that's part of the I've Got Rhythm, or I think it is. I think it's part of the I've Got Rhythm there. This is beautiful. The colors are put together so well. The canna leaves bouncing off of those
Hydrangeas.
hydrangeas. And the red, I'm not sure if that's a cigarette flower, what that one is, and I'm not sure what the red balls are in it, but it's a beautiful color arrangement in this vase. Now we're going to the beautiful Ohio, which was an underwater design, and this is the first year we've ever had underwater design. Part of your arrangement has to be immersed, so you have in that water, and it has to be a flow between what you have in the water and what is up on the top. This one won blue. It was done by Anne McNeely with orchids underneath. The iris leaves that are behind it hide all the mechanics that she used, and so it was just beautifully executed.
That vase is full. Do you see it coming up right up to the rim?
It is.
It is absolutely full of water, and that's the whole thing. This is the 2nd place winner in there. You can see a little clear bud vase inside the water there with the rose coming out. And the judges wrote there was not enough balance at the top as compared to what was underneath the water. There's 2 roses in this one, and there was actually with a little bit more at the top, it would create a more balance there with a single rose.
Yeah,
As a vase inside a vase.
That's a vase inside a vase.
that's right.
This one was 4th place because the arrangement at the bottom was simply the bottom of the stems there, and that wasn't sufficient. If she had swirled them or done something a little bit more dramatic with them, it would have probably done much better in there. But
They
it
were
was,
just sort of stuck in there. They were sort of stuck in there helter-skelter without any
okay.
arrangement.
That's the way I would have done it probably.
and it looked more like an arrangement than it did a creation.
Yes.
This one took 2nd place with the orange or peach-colored glads and the red sticks coming out, and it was done by Barb Heath from Mayfield, and it took 2nd place, and it is a beautiful arrangement. I think the judges' comments, and we had 3 certified judges, 2 from Carbondale and 1 from Fairview Heights. We always have certified flower judges doing this, and they wrote comments on every design. This one, I think they commented that there was too much inside the vase, that was showing too much inside the vase, because she had put some leaves and some pebbles from the flowers down in the rock that she had there. There you can see, and she used a lot of the fill-in at the bottom there.
Still beautiful.
It
Still
is
beautiful.
excellent. This was our first competition. This is called Beautiful Ohio. I made a mistake. The creative underwater was Kentucky Rain.
Kentucky
This
Rain.
is called Beautiful Ohio, and this is a mass design, which is what most of us do at home when we make an arrangement. We
My
put in
favorite.
a lot
Yes.
of flowers. This one was won a white ribbon, 4th place, but it's an absolutely beautiful design. Beautiful color combinations. This was left over from the horticulture show, which usually starts on Monday prior to the design show. And it is a succulent in a very simple pot with a simple arrangement, and it was very pretty.
So the potted designs are in the horticulture.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
This was a blossom that was on that design. And I think this is the container that won 1st place.
I believe it is.
And won Grower's Choice Award. that was done by Jim Hank. And it's a beautiful combination of the succulents, and of course the succulents are easy to keep because they don't demand a lot of water or a lot of attention, can dry out. So they're excellent for containers.
But they have to be perfect. They can't have any dead parts or anything like that, right? So
That's true. You
That's
take it
right.
off before they come to the
Cut all that
show.
off.
This is also part of the horticulture show as an orchid. And we have another orchid that won blue ribbon. And I think they show that we have a picture of that one, which will be shown in a moment. And I want to talk about that one because it's a purple orchid. And this was entered by a 94-year-old gentleman, Tom Berklew, from Culpeper Place. And it was the first time he'd ever entered competition. His daughter is a master gardener and brought him in with his 2 entries, and they both won blue ribbons, this beautiful orchid and a beautiful African violet. So we have people who are entering who are 3 years old in the horticulture part and who are 94 years old. So it is a wide range of people who enter horticulture.
He must have been thrilled.
He was absolutely astounded when she brought him back to see all of the horticulture show set up and to see his blue ribbons there. He took it back to Culpeper and showed, and I guess he broke down in tears at that point, but it was great that he entered.
I would too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it's first competition when you're 94, and that was a great one. This was the second place winner in the mass design, traditional design, and it was done by one of the secretaries, Nancy Wallace, at the Extension office. So
Oh,
it
I
was
know Nancy,
beautiful.
yeah.
No. I think I made a mistake there. I think that was third place. Now we're back to another one of the designs. This was done by Master Gardener. It sits in a shoe. It's a cactus. It sits in a shoe, and she brought it in as a container entry in the horticulture show. It's very beautiful. This is another succulent. I think almost all of the winners in this year's containers were the succulents, except the one orchid that won.
The last time we did this, I don't remember a whole lot of succulents being in the show. So that's something maybe
There may be
I
something
don't think
fairly
there was
new.
about 5 years ago either. I think this is new.
something new, yeah.
And like
They're
herbs
beautiful.
and vegetables. This is the winner, I think, in the mass design, is it not? Or I know it is sitting up on the stage on the pedestals, and the mass designs are always displayed on pedestal, usually displayed on pedestals, and this set up on the stage, and I believe it is the winner that was done by Carol Ehrlich. This was the second place. It was done by Carla Wilkie at the Extension office, her first year for entering, and she did a beautiful arrangement. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
With the yellow roses and there's a few daisies, yellow daisies and lilies in that. It's absolutely beautiful. And that was second place.
Each one of these classes have strict rules, right? They have to go by.
They
They
do.
do.
They
They
do.
do. And the judges are very particular when they are observing them, and they
They
make
are.
comments on everything. And that teaches all the designers, though, and we share those comments. We all
Yes.
look through them
Oh, yeah.
and share them, and that teaches them. This, I believe, is a part of the youth design. Our class 7 is always a youth design class, and it has unlimited entries, and we do kindergarten through 2nd grade, 3rd through 5th grade, 6th through 8th grade, and high school. So we have 4 divisions in the youth.
This is getting more and more complicated, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
It requires a lot of paperwork, but it's wonderful because you have these kids working on these designs, and they get their ribbons and their monies, and they're very happy.
Oh, there's money?
There is money.
There is money.
Yes.
I
yes.
didn't know that.
Yes.
For the blue ribbon, you have $8. For the red ribbon, you have $6. For the yellow ribbon, you have $4. And for the white ribbon, you have $2. So even the children who only came in with a white ribbon are getting a ribbon and a $2.
Yeah.
So that was great.
It's thrilling for them.
It
And it gets them involved in gardening
It
at
gets them
at an
excited,
early
yes.
age.
The judges commented on the youth design, because they're also 8 by 8, that we should work with them with smaller flowers, because like the calla lilies, like the marigolds, there are a little large blossom to put in an 8 by 8 design. It should be small blossoms, just like the adult novice group has. This is again part of the youth group.
And those blossoms are a little smaller.
They are. This, I think, won a blue ribbon there. But we were just happy to get so many, like 10 youth coming in with designs. That was terrific to get that much participation out of the youth.
Is this the miniatures again still?
These are the youth, part of the youth division. We have 10 in there. So, and you look at this kid, just is going in as a kindergartner. I know her. She's just a kindergartner. And of course, it's hard to work with them because when you say, now you can put your flowers in, they start sticking flowers in. And you keep saying, keep in mind how you want your arrangement to look. That doesn't always
It's hard. It's hard concept sometimes for them to
yeah,
understand.
But they did. This was also a first grader, and she has a little crowded, but it was good color combinations that she had there. And she won 4th place. This is also a youth division entry. And another youth division entry. Now,
You can tell which flowers are in bloom.
that's true.
Yes.
That's,
Yes.
and we were kind of unfair when we just cut the flowers out of our garden to take them in for the youth. Next year we'll have to work with smaller blossoms for them. Now we're looking at another class, which was a functional table this year. We usually always have a table design. Sometimes they're exhibition tables, not necessarily where you would sit down to eat. But this year our theme was barbecue on the river. And one of the things that the judges look for is how well did you carry out the theme. And this one was perennial gardeners entry for a barbecue. And it's beautifully done with the colors coordinating so well. But the judges comment the vase and flowers were beautiful, but if you were barbecuing on the river and the wind was up, you would probably lose that vase
It would
because
get
it was
knocked over.
tall. And it won 2nd place this year.
I can't believe they had the wind card. They used the wind
considered-
card on that one. Yeah.
That's right, they did.
Well,
Now
barbecues usually are outside.
yeah.
And barbecue on the river was the theme. This is the 1st place winner in the table design, the functional table design. It was done by Open Gate Garden Club. Marianne Sanderson did it. And she used paper plates, plastic, Cokes, and bottles. And of course, she has the pig and the barbecue sauce sitting on the table with a beautiful floral design.
The
And
pig was a nice touch.
It was excellent. It was an excellent touch. And she has a mason jar. You can see back there is her vase.
So the table designs were done by garden clubs and not individuals?
Not individuals. You can have one or more people working on table
Right.
designs. So, and this year we did have all garden clubs and master gardeners doing that. So this was wonderful. But the judges are rather subjective. When we talked about our entry for PAMCA, we assured Marianne that they were going to be looking for the prettiest table.
Right.
Well, they weren't. They were looking
And this
for the
was my
most
first year, so.
most practical. The first place went to the most practical one
not
that
the
would
prettiest.
worked for barbecue on the river. But it was very well executed.
It was beautiful.
This one was an entry by the Master Gardeners PAMCA group. Marianne and I worked on it with Ann McNigley and Carol Ehrlich. We thought it was great. It was pretty. But they said, in this day and time, you would not use china
At a barbecue.
At the barbecue.
I kind of had a little romance in mind because of a setting for two,
Yeah.
but the judges didn't. So.
I'm capable of that kind of stuff.
So we won 3rd place, a $6 prize for the Master Gardener group with this design. And this one won 4th. And this one is an example of an exhibition table that it's not a functional table. And the girl that entered it, this is only her 2nd year. And she entered it as an individual. And these wine glasses on the little ukulele and the butterfly, her dishes were in the basket. It's a beautiful table,
It is.
beautifully
It was gorgeous.
executed, but it did not meet the distinction of the description that we were using as a
As a
barbecue,
function.
as a functional barbecue table.
Yeah, I don't see any barbecue sauce
Yeah,
on there.
it was beautifully done. Jan Bose did an excellent job of it.
Still
but
beautiful though, right?
Yes, yes, it was absolutely. Now we're going to the collage, which is another class. This is the 2nd year we have tried collages. This is a 1st place winner done by Sally Wilkins. This is Unchained Melody was the name of that class. And you can see the movement, the rhythm that she has in there. The colors are excellent. And it is three-dimensional, abstract, and she just carried out the theme beautifully of an Unchained Melody.
She knows what
And
she's doing.
She does.
She does.
She does. There's a lot of paper on this in layers, and then she has a leaf. This one won fourth place. It was done by another artist. Was not abstract enough. It's a picture that she had painted that she simply added to it, and it was. Then she put the words of the Unchained Melody. If you remember Unchained Melody from
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of years back.
A lot of
but,
years
yeah.
Righteous Brothers.
Righteous Brothers,
That's
that's
right.
true.
Yeah.
So this is part of her design. This one won third place. It was done by Jan Bose, and she has some of the words to Unchained Melody there, and some broken chains and a
A little
key.
risque
and,
on that one, isn't it?
And she does. She's done a beautiful job. But the judges' comments on collage is they have never seen collages done well anyplace. In any of the shows they've ever been to, even when the judges are in competition amongst themselves, they do not do collages well, they feel, because you do have to have a third dimensional representation there, and that's very difficult to get in papers.
I've never seen collages. This is the first time I've seen collages as a class, and I've seen a lot of shows, but
This is the second year we've done it, and we're not sure we're going to be repeating it for next year because
Right.
it is difficult.
It
It's
is.
not difficult to get them to enter, but we just don't feel it represents the horticulture and plant
There's not
design.
They don't seem to be very floral in nature in the designs. The designs are
hard.
beautiful, but they just aren't.
it's hard to be
Use-
floral, I
using
guess, in a
enough
flat.
plant material.
Yeah.
And so I think we may take that out next year, but of course that's up to the fair
Uh-huh.
committee next year.
That's right.
This is going back to the I've Got Rhythm. It is the Best of Show award winner.
That's
And
the best of show right there.
That is the best
This
of
is the one we've
show.
been looking for right here.
That's
Right.
really beautiful.
It was executed with a tambourine hanging in a frame that has a glass on the back that's reflecting the plant material. You can see the plant material is just very simple, and it is incorporated into the box frame with a rose at the bottom. These are actually peach roses. One is at the bottom, and then one is in a bud vase sitting at the side of it and going up the side. And with a Best of Show ribbon, you get $8 for the blue ribbon that you have won, and you get $15 for a Best of Show ribbon. But of
What's the
course,
definition of best of show? That's
the judges selected.
and it's better than all the other
Better
classes.
than
than
all
all
the
the
classes
others.
are.
All the classes combined, they look from the blue ribbons that they have selected, they will choose one that they consider the most creative, better than all the others.
That's right.
And this was it for this year. And it is a beautiful arrangement, and they said it was beautifully executed. So we were really happy with the design show this year. We were really happy with the horticulture show. And this year, I'd like to say we had 30 design entries. Excuse me.
That's okay.
42 horticulture entries. We had 4 Best of Show and Premium ribbons. We gave out 71 blue ribbons, 53.
Only 71 blue ribbons?
Right.
Only
There were
71.
71 classes? Or what?
There were more classes, but of course in the horticulture, not every class
Oh,
is
the
entered.
horticulture, yeah.
That's right.
With everything together.
Right.
We have 71 blue, 53 red, 36 yellow, and 20 honorable mentions. And we gave out $1,154 in prize money.
Where's that money
So-
come from? Is that
It comes through
entry fees?
no, there's the state agriculture division provides some of it, and the Kiwanis Club, the Southside Kiwanis sponsor it, so they
Southside
provide
Kiwanis
some.
Club.
And so it's a good thing for the community. Having shows like this not only brings out the best of the exhibits and the competition, but it also puts a little money back in for more plants, buying more seeds, and planting again for next year.
Is there an
So-
entry fee?
No.
There is not.
There is no.
No,
You
no
just-
entry fee.
No.
Can't beat
Just
that.
anyone who wants to participate can say so. Now, the designs usually, except for, I think, the youth, is unlimited, but most of the designs are limited entries.
Right, you have to, each
Yeah.
class has to have 4 entries, and they are pre-registered.
Okay.
So as soon as you think about that, you should get your book and look to see
Right.
what you want to enter and call and
And
make your
reserve it.
Pre-registration of your entry.
And that's what I was going to ask you. If I wanted to enter next year, who do I call? What?
There will be probably a different chairperson. So you would
Yes.
call that chairperson to enter, and it will be in in the fair book that's
Maybe the
that's
fair
put out.
book. Did the
for
fair book
2000.
come out way before the fair?
About a month and a half, about
Yeah.
six.
Oh,
six-
okay. Well,
yeah.
look for the fair book, and that'll tell you all and it'll tell you the different classes and what the
All the
rules
details
are a
of
little
What
all
bit
the
in
rules
there.
are,
Right.
and who to contact.
Okay.
Now the horticulture show is unlimited. Anybody who wants to participate can just show up on
Okay.
the morning of the show, and there's a limited amount of time to set up. But I was amazed at how many people came. I thought we had several hundred. You said only 42 actual exhibitors, but it seemed like we were people going everywhere.
But each exhibitor can exhibit 12 entries into the
Right.
horticulture, so that makes a lot of entries. Because
And what-
we were over 300 entries.
Oh,
We
okay.
showed some potted plants in the horticulture, but what else? Horticulture is just a really nice plant in a vase.
In a bottle that we furnish, the fair committee furnishes the bottles and the vases
And the
and the
water.
setup and the water. So you just bring your cuttings in, your clippings in, knowing what they are. We will help you find the botanical name if you need help getting that. And you can bring up to 12 exhibits to enter into the horticulture show.
So you just get your best rose, best dandelion, anything you want to bring in. It's leaf, limb.
Right. And
Anything.
it's
Right.
all written up into the fair book, so just
Okay.
look in there
Right.
to see what the entries are. But from annuals, perennials, vines, bulbs, corms, tubers, deciduous,
Wildflowers.
evergreen, herbs,
Yeah.
and vegetables. We do have a
Uh-huh,
class
we
of
have
vegetables that
vegetable
are entered
class.
also.
Hey, okay, vegetables.
And that'll be another show, Bud.
Yes.
Vegetable show, yeah.
A vegetable show, yes.
Yeah, well, and don't be intimidated.
No.
No.
There's no pressure. So, yeah.
It's surprising and amazing, I think, to the exhibitors when they bring in their 12, if they bring in 12 items, they are very likely to place
They are.
in 3 or 4 or 5 of those.
Okay, well, we're out of time. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
Thank you
today.
for having us.
And yes, and I hope we've inspired some of our listeners or viewers to maybe join next year.
I certainly hope so.
I hope
Thank
so.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm your host, Bud Kwok. This is Master Gardening. And until next time, good gardening.